Today we are going to study the properties of Z transform. So last class we had discussed about how to solve the Z transform problem. That is, determine the Z transform of the following discrete time signal, and also we are saying how to determine the ROC. Okay. Now today lectures we are going to say properties of Z transform. So here in this lecture, we discuss some important properties of Z transform. Okay, because Z transform, it is a one of the powerful tool which is used for to analysis and design of discrete time LTI system. Okay, for analysis purpose, here we are using Z transform. So the important properties are, here is a first property is linearity property, then time shifting property, time reversal property, scaling property, differentiation property, convolution property, Maxwell's theorem, initial value theorem, final value theorem. Okay. So among the several properties, here I will pick only the important properties. Okay. So first, linearity property. Right. So here first statement, listen, linearity. If x1 of z, statement, if x1 of z, so capital X, here I represent capital X. So it means z transform of x1 of n. Okay, when you take the z transform of x1 of n, you can get x1 of z. Right? Similar way, x2 of z, which is equal to z transform of x2 of n. Then the formula is here linearity z transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. Here I add some weightage here to the input signal. So which is equal to a into corresponding number, that is capital X1 of z plus b into x2 of z. So this is the definition for linearity, statement for linearity. Okay. So when the system is said to be linear, you know that if it obey the superposition principle, we call it as linear. So what is superposition principle? The weighted sum of combined input sequence, which is equal to corresponding weighted sum of individual input sequence. Isn't it? So that is linearity, right? Superposition. If it obey the superposition, we call it as linear, right? So here the statement is, this is the constant for everything. Okay. If x1 of z, if x1 of z equal to z transform of x1 of n. So similar way, x2 of z equal to z transform of x2 of n. This statement is common for all, right? Then the properties here. Okay, you just remember this property, right? A is a transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n, which is equal to a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. Right? Proof. So first is z transform of, let us take left hand side, a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. So you know the definition of z transform. So here definition of z transform is what? Z transform of x of n. Z transform of x of n. So which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinite to plus infinite. Okay, so here x of n, so inside I put x of n into z power minus n. Okay, so this is the definition of z transform. Okay, so here left hand side is z transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. Okay, now I substitute here summation n equal to minus infinite to infinite. Instead of x of n, I substitute here a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n. That's it. Int multiply with z power minus n. Right? Now I expand this summation here. Okay. Before expand the summation, so one important thing is you just split up the summation into two terms. Automatically can get this answer, because I want to prove a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z only, isn't it? So if you want to prove x1 of z, so x1 of z which is equal to summation x1 of n z power minus n. Okay, so for that I split up the summation into two summation terms. Listen, summation n equal to minus infinite to infinity a into x1 of n into z power minus n. First term. Second term is b into x2 of n z power minus n. So here a and b are constant, so I bring out outside of the summation. Now look at the summation. So here a into the summation is nothing but Z transform of x1 of n. So Z transform of x1 of n is x1 of z. So I substitute here x1 of z. So here Z transform of x2 of n. So instead of this, I substitute here x2 of z. Okay. So now hence it's proved. Okay, Z transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n equal to a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. Hence it's proved. Okay, this is a linearity property. This is the easiest property for all the transform. Okay, once you know the concept and basic thing, you can able to write linearity property in all the transform, like Fourier transform, Fourier series, as well as Laplace transform, then Z transform. Right? So the concept is this. If it is obey the superposition principle, we call it as linearity. Okay. Statement is Z transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x2 of n equal to a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. Okay. Next, we go on to second property, that is time shifting property. Time shifting property. So here, if x of z equal to z transform of x of n, and the initial condition for x of n are 0. Initial condition for x of n are 0. Initial condition, that is x of n minus 1, that is 0. Then time shifting means here time is here, where the time is mentioned here, x of n, isn't it? So now x of n minus m. So x of n became x of n minus m. So z transform of x of n minus m equal to z power minus m into x of z. So when you take the z transform of x of n, it became x of z. But here we have z power minus m. Right? Where n is the positive integer or negative integer. Right? Now we are going to prove this statement. Z transform of x of n minus m equal to z power minus m into x of z. First, let us take the left hand side. Z transform of x of n minus m equal to, you know the definition of Z transform now. So instead of x of n, I substitute here x of n minus m into z power minus m. Right? Now, second step will be, okay, so I introduce some new term here. That is n equal to minus infinity x of n minus m, z power, okay, I multiply with z power minus m. Z power minus m and z power plus m. I added here, multiply this term with z power minus m into z power plus m. Okay, when I add these two terms in the summation, if it disturb your summation part, no problem. Okay, because z power minus m plus m 0. Anything for 0, answer 1. So no problem. When I introduce these two terms here, definitely it won't disturb your summation term. So I added here. Okay, one important thing is you note it down here. I add here z power minus m into z power plus m in the summation. Okay, now I bring out this z power minus m is outside of the summation. I keep it as z power plus m is inside the summation. What will happen now? Summation n equal to minus infinity infinity x of n minus m, z to the power of minus n and z to the power of plus m. Okay, now this power term now, so I club this term into two terms. So z power minus of n minus m. Okay, when you want to cross check it here, z power minus n. Okay, I got this point. Z power plus m. This is also I got it. So no problem. Right? You write one more step here. In this step, you write one more step here. That is summation. Okay. So n which is equal to minus infinite to plus infinite x of n minus m into z power minus n. Okay. I introduced these two terms here. Z power minus m into z power m. So from this expansion, I bring out z power minus m outside. Okay, I bring it outside. So inside you have z power minus n, z power plus m. So you can write like this: z power minus of n minus m. Okay, now the finished statement. Okay, for time shifting property, so this is the key point for you. Just note it down. Right? Put n minus m which is equal to l here. Let us take n minus m equal to l here. So what will happen? Z power minus m summation l equal to minus infinity to plus infinite x of l z power minus m. Okay, so this is nothing but z transform of definition of z transform x of n z power minus m. Okay, so instead of l, here I put l. So remaining under same only, right? So this is equal to x of z, x of z. So hence is proved. Z transform x of n minus m equal to z power minus n x of z. If you want to change the limit, you can also change it here, no problem. Because same thing only happened now. So n minus m equal to L, right? So limit is here L. So with respect to L, so n equal to minus infinite. So this is also infinite. So again it will start from minus infinite to plus infinite only. So okay, no problem. So here you change the limit value also. So the definition is z power z transform of x of n minus m is z power minus n x of z. So hence it's a this is time shifting property. Okay, if you have any doubt here, these two property, because these two properties are very easy for you. Once again I repeat, linearity means z transform of a into x1 of n plus b into x of n equal to a into x1 of z plus b into x2 of z. Time shifting means z transform of x of n minus m equal to z power minus m into s of z. Okay, so third property will be time reversal property. Okay, so here if you take the z transform of x of n, you can get x of z. This is a normal definition. Similar way, time reversal, it means I shift folding the sequence. So x of n becomes x of minus n. X of n becomes x of minus n. So it means I folded the sequence. So if x of n is x of z base, x of minus n becomes x of z inverse. Isn't it? If x of n, when you take the z transform of x of n, it produces x of z. So if it is x of minus n means, when you take the z transform of this folded sequence, you can get x of reciprocal. That is z power inverse, z power minus. Okay. Now this is your statement. Now you are going to prove this one. Okay, if the transform of x of minus n, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinite, x of minus n is z power minus n. Because instead of x of n, I substitute here x of minus n. Now put m equal to minus n here. Okay, so what happened? When n equal to minus infinity, substitute here. Sum means m is also tends to infinite. N equal to minus m. So here m equal to infinite substitute, here m changes become minus infinite to plus infinite. So similar way, our limit also varies between same limit. My m equal to minus infinite to plus infinite. So here inside the summation you have x of m into z power minus. So instead of minus n, I substitute here minus m. Instead of minus n, I substitute here m. Isn't it? So, but according to our definition, you want to prove here x of z inverse only. X of z inverse only. So for that, I replace here this step. Okay. So what I replace here, instead of here z power minus m, no. So z power minus m. Actually here in this place you have z power minus m only. But instead of z power minus m, okay, I just modify this term. That is z power minus 1 into whole power minus m. Okay, now what happened? Z power minus 1 into z power m. See, z power minus n. Instead of minus n, I substitute here m only. Instead of minus n, I substitute here m only. Okay, so what will happen? Z power m. So that is plus m. Z power m plus m. So z power plus m, which is equal to, I write down here, minus 1 minus m. So when you multiply this term, what will happen? Minus and minus will become plus. So z power m only. But according to the definition, x of n is z power minus n. On the format again. So x of n is z power minus n. The format x of n is z power minus n. Okay. So here is z of x of minus n. So it is nothing but x of z. But instead of z here, what you get? Z inverse. So I substitute here z inverse. This is a trick for you. Okay. Only within single step, you can able to prove this statement. It's nothing but just put m equal to minus n. Okay, in this equation, put m equal to minus n. That's it. Otherwise, remaining are same. You can easily able to prove this property. Okay, this is time shifting property. Is a transform of x of minus n, which is equal to x of z inverse. Next property is scaling property. Next one is scaling property. Let us take z transform of x of n means x of z. Okay, but scaling means here I added the scaling factor here. That is a to the power of n. I multiply this a power n here. So when you take the z transform of a power n, x of n is x of z by a. Scaling factor is z by a. Okay. So x of n means x of z. Here a power n, a power is multiplied with your time domain. So now after taking the z transform, we can get x of z by a. So proof z transform of a power n x of n, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinite to plus infinite. Instead of x of n, I substitute here a power n x of n. Then z power minus n. Right? Now x of n constant term, I keep it as it is. A power n into z power minus n. So here I club these two terms. Okay, I merge these two exponent terms. How I will merge it? Here a inverse is a whole power minus n, because the definition is we want to here I keep it as in this place I keep it as z power minus n, z power minus n, because according to our definition here in this place we have z power minus n. Then only you can say it is x of z, x of z. So for this purpose I merge these two exponent term into single one, similar to this one. Okay, so இங்க பாருங்க இந்த இடத்துல எனக்கு z power minus n வந்தாகணும். ஓகே, பட் அப்படி இருந்தா தான் எனக்கு எக்ஸாக்ட் z கிடைக்கும். பட் இந்த ரெண்டு டேர்மே நான் இந்த ஃபார்மேட்டுக்கு merge பண்றேன். எப்படி merge பண்றேன்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் a இன்வர்ஸ் தென் z ஹோல் பவர் மைனஸ் n. வெளியில எனக்கு மைனஸ் n வரணும், உள்ள என்ன வேணாலும் இருக்கலாம், பட் வெளியில மைனஸ் n வரணும். ஓகே, சோ அப்படி ஸ்பிளிட் பண்றேன். அப்ப a இன்வர்ஸ் ஆயிடுங்க, இங்க z மட்டும் இருக்கும், ஹோல் பவர் மைனஸ் n. இப்போ கிராஸ் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணி பாருங்க, a இன்வர்ஸ் ஹோல் பவர் மைனஸ் n இட்ஸ் நதிங் பட் a power n plus an item. So z power minus n. So இங்க கிடைச்சிருக்கு. So same தான், no problem. Now according to our definition here x of n is z power minus n. It's nothing but x of z. Okay, but here what you get? So this is nothing but a inverse z. It means z by a. You can write down z by a, right? So x of z. So x of z. So instead of z, you write down z by a. Okay, hence it's the proof. Okay. So here also it is very easy for you, right? Right, discuss any four properties of Z transform, or simply they are asking if they are given any four, asking for to prove that any four different properties. Okay, so you can able to answer it. So based upon the property, this 9 properties very, very important for you. So you should know about this property, right? Next thing is fifth property is differentiation property. Differentiation property. Each property you can have some tricks here. Okay, you find out the tricks and you just note it down. There you are going to stuck in your while solving this property, right? So that is the main thing you have to remember. So previous one is just substitute put m equal to minus n. So in this one instead of z you have you need to keep it as z by a, right? Likewise you can find out the tricks from each properties. Okay, so don't fact. Next thing is differentiation property. If z transform of x of n equal to x of z, this is z transform that, right? So differentiation means here n into x of n. When I take the differentiation z transform of this one, you can get minus z into d by dz of x of z. D by dz of x of z. This is the differentiation property. Okay, proof by the definition of z transform. Z transform of x of n equal to summation n equal to minus infinite to plus infinite x of n is z power minus n. So here what I am going to do is in previous property and all you just replace your work is inside the summation part only, isn't it? So the previous four property is here your work will be inside the summation term only. But here in this property, what I am going to do means I just differentiation this term. Okay, because z transform of x of n equal to summation n equal to minus infinite to infinite x of n z power minus n. So this is nothing but x of z. Okay, now I am going to differentiation this term d by dz of x of z. Automatically I will get the right hand side. Okay, right hand side d by dz of x of z. So which is equal to d by dz of this summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Now I am going to allow this differentiation inside this summation term. Okay, now summation n equal to minus infinity to infinite d by dz of x of n is z power minus n. Okay, when I differentiation this term, what will happen? X of n is constant, so I bring it outside because our differentiation is with respect to z only. So d by dz of z power minus n. I just combine this term d by dz of z power minus n, because of differentiation is with respect to z. So this differentiation is attract to your z domain. Next, x of n, which is equal to when I differentiation this term, what will happen? Z power minus n with respect to z. So it becomes z power minus n minus 1. Z power minus n minus 1. So minus 1 differentiation become minus n. Okay. So before that I put here minus n, because this is differentiation property. D by d dx of x power n is nothing but n into x power n minus 1 சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா? So அதுதான் இங்க இந்த n minus n. So minus n into z power minus n minus 1. So this is differentiation result. Minus n into z power minus n minus 1. Now here summation L equal minus infinity infinite n into x of n z power minus n. Outside this summation, you bring out 1 minus 1 by z outside, because here I want to prove minus z into d by dz of x of z only. Okay, so for that purpose, I just modify this term, right? How you will modify means x of n into minus n z power minus n minus 1. I bring the first thing is I bring out this minus n outside, so minus n. So now inside we have n into x of n only, n into x of n. So these two terms become z power minus n. First one is z power minus n. Second term is z inverse. So the two exponent terms are here, z transform. So from this, I keep this z power minus n inside the summation, because our definition we need z power minus n here, isn't it? So I bring out this z inverse is outside of the summation. So I bring out z inverse is outside of the summation. Already I keep it as minus 1 value here. So minus into z inverse here. Minus into z inverse here. Now inside you have n into x of n z power minus n. Okay, now what will happen? So this is nothing but your z transform definition. So d by dz of x of z. D by dz of x of z. Okay, so this is way how to do this result. This is differentiation properties. So next property will be convolution property. So convolution means if x of z equal to z transform x1 of n, right? H of z which is equal to z transform h of n, because this is convolution. No, so convolution means we need x of n and h of n domain. Input sequence and impulse response sequence we needed. So here for that I take down x of n value and h of n sequence. So I just take z transform of x of n, it will produce output is x of z. If I take z transform of h of n, it will produce h of z. Okay, so according to the properties, conversion property, the statement is z transform of x of n converted with h of n. So which produce output is x of z into h of z. So this is your statement. So here x of n star h of n denotes the linear convolution of the sequence. Linear convolution star it represents linear convolution. So we have properties y of n equal to x of n star h of n. So summation is x of k into h of n minus k. So this is nothing but definition of convolution. Okay, so definition of convolution is y of n equal to x of n star h of n. So it can be written as equal to summation k equal to minus infinity infinite x of k into h of n minus k. One actual sequence, one delayed sequence. Okay, so here x of k into h of k by n minus k. This is convolution property. Now y of z equal to z transform y of n equal to summation n equal to minus infinity infinite. I substitute this condition y of x of n into star h of n. No, I substitute here instead of x of n. So this whole term summation I bring out and place it here into z power minus n. So now what will happen? Y of z equal to summation. Okay, here you have two summation terms. So I split up into two summation, right? The first summation is summation k equal to minus infinity infinite x of k, then z power minus k, z power minus k. Next summation is summation n equal to minus infinity infinite h of n minus k into z power minus n of minus n minus k. Okay, so here you may have some doubt here. How I will bring out this z minus k here, because in this summation we have only z power minus n alone only, you know. So how you will get this z power minus k here, where I will get this one. So here like in previous property values, no, that is z power m into z power minus m. Like as here also you substitute here z power k into z power minus k. Okay, here I add z power k. In this term I add z power k z power minus k. Z power 0, so no problem. So in this term, first summation I bring out summation k is infinite x of k into z minus k into x z power minus k. So this is one term, x of z. Now it became x of z. So second term, h of n minus k into z power minus n, z power k. Here we have two terms. So I bring out these two terms into single one. So z power minus of n minus k. So now here n minus k, here n minus k. So now this term became x2 of z. Okay. So for this purpose only I add here z power k into z power minus k. Okay. Now put n minus k equal to L. Put n minus k equal to L. Therefore y of z equal to summation k equal to minus infinity x of k z power minus k. So the first term is no problem. So second term is n minus k equal to L. So I put here L, h of L. So here is z power minus L. So when I observe this two summation, it's nothing but z transform of x of n. So equal to x of z. So this term became x of z, this term became h of z. So all those are capital X. So x of z, h of z. So hence it's a true. This is convolution properties. So far we have discussed about 6 different properties. One is linearity, then time shifting, then time reversal, scaling, convolution, differentiation properties. Okay, we have any doubt in this topic?
No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I'll take 5 more minutes for you. Parseval's theorem, right? Parseval's theorem for Z transform. So here, Parseval's theorem. Let us consider two complex sequences. Okay, two complex sequences. That is x1 of n and x2 of n. Then summation n equal minus infinity to infinite x1 of n. If this one, another one is complex x2 of star of n, x1 of n into x2 star of n. So which is equal to 1 by 2 pi j contour integral of x1 of z into x2 star of 1 by z star into z inverse dz. With respect to z, so I put here dz. Okay, so this is the Parseval's theorem. Summation n equal to எப்படி எடுத்துக்கிறீங்கன்னா ஒரு ஆக்சுவல் சீக்வன்ஸ் ஒரு காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் சீக்வன்ஸ். ஸோ அப்போ x1 of n x2 of n. ஸோ which is equal to ஃபார்முலா வந்து 1 by 2 pi j கான்டூர் இன்டெக்ரல் ஆஃப் x1 of n வந்து x1 of z மாறிடும். x2 star of n இருக்கு இல்லையா, இது எப்படி எழுதுறேன்னா x2 star of 1 by z star. ஸோ வழக்கமாக எடுக்கிற மாதிரி இங்கே z star எடுத்ததால இங்கே z இன்வர்ஸ் ஆயிடும். ஸோ வித் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் z, ஸோ ஐ புட் ஹியர் dz. Okay, so x1 of z into x2 star of 1 by z star into z inverse into dz. Right? Proof. Let us take y of n equal to x1 of n into x2 star of n. Then y of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinite x1 of n x2 star of n z power minus n. So this is your definition of z transform. Right? Now using complex convolution property here. So complex convolution is y of z equal to 1 by 2 pi j contour integral of the சொன்னலையா complex convolution அது எடுத்துக்கிறேன் x1 of z x2 star of, okay, so here 1 by z star எடுப்பீங்க, பட் அதுக்கு பதிலாக என்ன எடுத்தீங்கன்னா v star, because this is complex convolution. So capital V, so v star by z star into z inverse dz. Okay, this is complex convolution. So now x of n into x2 star of n, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi j contour integral of x1 of z x2 star of v star by z star into z inverse dz. Now here capital V, no, so this v is nothing but exponent term, that is e to the power of j omega. I substitute here v equal to e power j omega here. So what will happen? Left hand side is x1 of summation n equal to minus infinity to infinite x1 of n x2 star of n equal to right hand side 1 by 2 pi j contour integral of x1 of instead of z I substitute here e power j omega x2 star of e power j omega into d omega. Okay, so if x1 of n equal to x2 of n equal to x of n, so let us take like this. So what will happen? So this two term became x of n x of n, so x of n whole square, so x square of n 1 by 2 pi j, here also x of z, Here also x of z, that is x of z inverse. So x of z inverse, because complex term now. So x of z inverse into z inverse dz. Okay, so this is your Parsel's theorem. Listen, there is some mistake here. So here you have z inverse term also. Z inverse into dz. Okay, we substitute here b equal to j omega means now this term become e power j omega. Actual of z x2 star of v star by z star now v star by z star. So e power j omega, right? So here e to the power of j omega star. So e power minus j omega. Here take complex conjugate. So when you take bring up this term, it became x2 star of e power j omega, right? So here x1 of e power j omega. Put z equal to e power j omega. So what will happen? This is x of z idom. This is x of z inverse idom. So when you look at z inverse dz, right? So this is the Parsel's theorem, right? Next initial value theorem. So here initial value theorem is if x of x plus z, which is equal to z transform x of a. So initial means 0. So x of 0 equal to limit z tends to infinite x plus of z. So x of 0 equal to limit z tends to infinite x plus of z. So proof summation x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinite x of n z power minus n. Once you expand the summation x of 0 z power 0, when n equal to 1 x of 1 z power minus 1, when n equal to x of 2 z power minus 2 plus goes on. Apply z tends to infinite here. Z போல infinite apply பண்றேன். அப்ப என்ன கிடைக்குது உங்களுக்கு? Limit z tends to infinite x plus of z. So equal to every time I substitute the limit here. So limit z tends to infinite x of 0 into 1, because anything for 0 1. Next is second term, limit z tends to 1 x of 1 z power minus 1, plus third term, limit z tends to infinite x of 2 z power minus 2 goes on. Okay, so answer become limit z tends to infinite x plus of z equal to, you can get only the x of 0 first. Okay, so only you can get it. So remaining term and all, it became infinite, that is 0. So the first term will be 0 equal to x of 0. This is initial value theorem. So you remember this property, limit z tends to infinite x plus of z equal to x of 0. Similarly for final value theorem. So within this I conclude my topic. If x plus of z equal to z transform of x of a and the poles x of z are all lies inside the series circle, then the final value of x of infinite is determined by using this expression, right? So formula for again, statement x of infinite equal to limit z tends to 1 is இங்க z tends to 1 சொல்றீங்க, அப்ப z minus 1 ஆயிடும். So z minus 1 into x plus of z. So இது வந்து initial theorem. Initial theorem எப்படி எழுதுறீங்க? Limit z tends to infinite x plus of z equal to x of 0 ஆயிடுச்சு initial. So final வரும்போது இங்க x of infinite இருக்கும். உள்ள பாருங்க limit z tends to 1. So it starts from 1. Okay, so z by இதோட pole என்ன? z minus 1. So into x plus of z. So final value theoremல உங்க x of z ல கிடைக்கிற poles எல்லாமே lies inside the unit circle. ஓகே, z பைல உள்ள வரும். இப்போ இத நம்ம ப்ரூவ் பண்ண போறோம். பாருங்க, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாருங்க, z transform x of n plus 1 first term minus z transform x of n. அதாவது x of n க்கு previous term எடுத்துக்கிட்டேன், n plus 1. ஓகே, so limit k tends to infinite summation n equal to 0 to k. first term என்ன பாருங்க, x of n plus n. So x of n plus 1 minus x of n then into z power minus n. Okay, x of n plus 1 minus x of n into z power minus n. Now what will happen? Take z transform here. So z transform x plus of z minus x of 0. Okay, so minus x plus of z equal to limit k tends to infinite summation n equal to 0 to infinite x of n plus 1 minus x of n z power minus n. This is right hand side. So left hand side, you just concentrate here, left hand side, because left hand side you take down x of n instead of x of n plus 1. Okay, z x plus z minus x plus 0, because this is final value theorem. So நம்ம differentiation property ல படிச்சிருப்பீங்க இல்லையா, initial value theorem வந்து consider as 0 ன்னு வரும்போது நாம அந்த டேர்ம்ல எடுத்துட்டோம். அதுவே d square y of t divided by dt square எப்படி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணீங்க? ஓகே, s into y square of z minus s into differentiation term then minus y ன்னு போட்டீங்க இல்லையா, so அது போல தான் இங்க. Okay, so z transform z minus 1 into x plus of z, because here also x plus z, here also x plus z. So just take down commonly outside x plus z. So inside you have z minus 1. So next minus of x of 0. So equal to limit k tends to infinite summation n equal to 0 to k x of n plus 1 minus x of n z power minus n. Now let us take z tends to 1 because our property is z tends to 1. So I substitute here, take limit z tends to 1 on this side, left hand side. So z tends to 1, which is equal to z minus 1 x plus of z minus x of 0 equal to right hand side. What will happen? So limit n tends to infinite. So when I expand this summation, what will happen? X of 1 minus x of 0. First term. Okay, when I substitute here n equal to 0 here, what will happen? X of 1 minus x of 0. When n equal to x of 2 minus x of 1. Similar way, when n equal to n plus 1 minus x of n. So this is nothing but x of infinite minus x of 0. Because final theorem is subtract with the infinite to 0. Okay, one greater value, then next value. Okay, x of 1 minus x of 0, x of 2 minus x of 1, x of 3 minus x of 2. Okay, so this is nothing but x of infinite minus x of 0. This is nothing but x of infinite minus x of 0. So finally we can write out x of infinite is keep it as it is. So limit z tends to 1, z minus 1 into x plus of z. Okay, this minus x of 0, this minus x of 0 is cancelled out. So you can get only this z minus 1 into x plus of z. Okay, hence it's a proved. So with this I conclude my topic. So far we have discussed about the 9 different properties of Z transform. If you have any doubt,